friends, it is Friday and we're going to recreate the look. I got nervous that I wasn't going to have time, so I'm closing out voting. Well, actually, just vote away. If we get enough of the other one, then we'll do both looks. But so far, the winner is that. That is our purple, kind of purple themed, kind of a cooler toned palette. So let me show you the colors that we're going to be using today to recreate our look. So this is pink grapefruit, an angel illuminator. Hi, babe. And then we have four eyeshadows. It's going to be kind of a monochromatic, purpley cool look. And this is Aries, Venus, hi, babes, Lullaby, and Revival. And I'll swatch them all as we go. So let's just jump in and do the thing. Is everybody excited for Friday? I couldn't be happier. It wasn't a bad week. Like, it was fine. It didn't feel long, but it didn't feel like I totally accomplished like anything. I don't know why. Whatever. It is what it is. And we have a weekend full of sports and birthday parties. We are topping out at 4 birthday parties this weekend, which might be the most we've had in one weekend ever. I feel like the mid-moms out there will understand. Praise be, we made it. I feel like we made it. Yes, girl, I know. No accomplishments, but we made it. And I'm sure if we looked back, there'd be lots of things to be proud of. But right now, it feels like I'm drinking from a water hose. So, oh my gosh. If you are catching this on the replay, then I need you to drop a little heart here. If you can relate that mid-mom life is essentially living out of your car, driving from sporting events to birthday parties. And the occasional play date / sleepover. Like, the other day I looked down and I had 5 beverages, I think, in the car. I was like, that's okay. This is my home. Like, this is where I live now. So you listen, if you know, you know. That's just how it goes when your kids get to the age where they can do things on their own, but they can't go to any of the things on their own. And you have to be relatively close by, right? I'm going to do eyes first. So from our recreate look, we're going to start with eyes. We'll end with lip and cheeks just because there's a couple of sparkly ones on here. And in case I get any fallout, I don't want that all over my makeup after I do it. So I'm going to start with my eyes. So I did a little eye prep. After you prep your eyes with either your color corrector in your main shade, what did you use for your eye primer? Yeah, I used MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I love this. Because what I was actually just going to say is you kind of have 2 options. Can you tell how much less purple my eyelids look? So you can always use your color corrector if you have a warm color corrector from Seint, and then put your main shade on and put your Vanilla Dust setting powder on top. Or you can find an eye primer that has some color correcting qualities. I think MAC Paint Pot does a great job, but it is tacky, and tacky's good. You're welcome, honey. And tacky is good. Obviously for eyeshadow, we want tack, but we don't want so much tack that like as soon as we touch our eye, you just have a glob of eyeshadow. So I always set my eye with a translucent setting powder. Now my eyeshadow colors will actually look like the colors in the tin as opposed to my like purple and blue eyelids, right? Okay, let's do this. I swear I was prepared. My biggest hardship with lives is finding my brushes after I start. They're right there, and then something happens. The brush goblins gobble them all up, and I don't know what happens from there. So I'm gonna grab this dirty one and we're gonna clean it, and that one just fell. We are gonna do 3 shades on the lid and 1 up in the brow and inner corner. And I'll swatch them all for you. It'll be a bit of an ombre effect, but there is enough deviation between the colors that you'll be able to see them all. Sometimes when your colors are too close to one another, you have like a really great eyeshadow idea, and then you put them on and you're like, wait, where does one color end and the next one begin? That is going to be the case with Venus and Aries. And I believe the lighter one is Venus. No, the lighter one is Aries. I'm glad I checked. Okay, so this is Aries. This makes a really good pop shade, but you'll see it's not as pigmented as it looks like it's gonna be in the tin. It's very white. It's very frosty, but we're gonna use this underneath the brow and in the inner corner because it's not all that different from Venus. Did I just confuse them again? Darn it. Which is which here? The first one is Aries. All right, A before V. Aries first, Venus second. So we're gonna do this one on the lid. If I put these right next to each other, this would have to go in the inner corner here in order to be seen, and it would look really light. This will be a beautiful shade on the lid, and then we'll pop this on the tear duct and under the brow. Our mid-tone matte shade, so if you have a hooded eye, you wanna start with something that's a medium tone matte up in your crease and onto the hood. This is Lullaby, it'll be perfect for that. And ending with one of my all-time favorite colors for depth and dimension. This is Revival, it's a brown purple. So our look's gonna be overall pretty cool and pretty gorgeous. So let's do it. With a look like this, I always start mid-tone matte. It's gonna serve as my transition shade. So go ahead and tap into your Lullaby, get that excess off, and now let's do this. I'm gonna do a little windshield wiper motion after I make my new crease. So my eyes are hooded, so I have to go here first so you can see it. Now I can tilt my chin back a little bit and get into the actual crease up onto the base of the hood. We'll start with some outward little circles just to diffuse it and keep the look pulled out. I'm gonna try and avoid coming down as much as you can, but it happens to me all the time. We'll clean it up at the end. Now, Lullaby is your, I bet it is. She said Lullaby is my ride or die, and I'm sure you love the cooler tones. That's why Bubba's your nemesis. If Lullaby is your ride or die, Bubba might be your nemesis. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit into the outer corner, and here, you guys will see. My eyelids are really wrinkly, all right? So in order to get into like this wrinkle here, depending on how wrinkly they're feeling for the day, sometimes I have to lift my outer corner of my brow a little bit, but it does help so much to actually get into that wrinkle because if you don't, you're going to see it later throughout the day. All right, up onto the hood. You can see it when my eyes are open, but my chin is down. That's the key. Can you see your crease color when your chin is down and your eyes are open? We naturally like to go like this, and that lends to only getting this color in the crease, and we need to get it above the crease if we have small eyes, hooded eyes, or deep set eyes. This will open it up and it'll allow you to actually be able to see like multiple colors in your eyeshadow look. I also like when I go to the outer corner to circle this one inward. The reason I do is because if I circle, oh, I just stabbed myself. If I circle this out, it comes out past this area, and we want to stop at the outer corner here to keep your eye look lifted. So when I'm blending, I blend inward when I'm out here. Up on. And we can always come back and add more if we want. Okay, let's dig in. Venus. With a shade that has this much shimmer, it is foiled, but it's not like super foiled, meaning like there probably could be some fallout here. So I'm gonna use my finger and press on to minimize the fallout as much as I can. Britt, do you have this color? If not, I think we should add it to your list. I think it would look great with the shades that you do have. Especially with like, you have like Bend and Snap, right? And then we'll blend it. See, starting to get our look rolling. Mid-tone matte in the crease and up onto the hood. It's not going to reflect light. We do not want to reflect light on our hood if we have a hooded eye, because then it just looks more pronounced. So press, and now I'm kind of smoothing that out. Going all the way to the outer corner, and we're gonna blend. All right. So this is the smudge brush, flat end, dome end. I'm just gonna make sure that this is like in the creases. And if I want to, you can press more on. If you feel like you're getting fallout from doing this method, spray your brush with your setting spray. First or second, depends on your preference. If you do it first, it works a little bit better. But then you also squish setting spray in here and it kind of gets wonky sometimes. If you do it second, you gotta work a little bit harder on the lid, but then you don't get it in your eyeshadow. See, how pretty is that? All right, to blend it all, I'm gonna go back into my Lullaby, and I'm gonna do this outer corner, circle it inward, and just go up into that crease and on the hood. Hey you, what's up, girl? How are ya? Circle up on to that brow bone. And that's super pretty. Okay, outer corner, let's rock and roll. Onto Revival. You can either use the small end or you can use the dome end. So if you have both brushes, my preference is the dome end. If not, the small end's great. So I'm gonna take the dome end and I'm gonna tap into this Revival, highly pigmented, build it up as you go. And I'm just working this into the outer corner. The key is gonna be blend it out. Try and make them as even as possible. But a smart woman once told me they're sisters, not twins, so don't give it too much thought. Okay, isn't she pretty? See, doesn't it look more purple on the lid than it does? Sometimes I feel like Revival on the arm looks more brown, and I know there's purple underneath it, but it's pretty, it's a pretty deep, but like not bright purple. Now let's swirl. Make sure we get it into that Venus. And into the crevices. Yeah, girl, we gotta add it to your, let's add it to the list. I feel like you would like that. And it would look good with your grays. Because it definitely is like a silvery purple. All right, I'm just gonna tap onto the middle part. Create a little bit like of a pop. But I'm gonna also make sure I blur that Revival line. I don't want it to look drastic. Isn't that pretty? So simple. Put on some mascara. I'm gonna halo some Lullaby underneath after I do the rest of my face. Oh geez, I didn't do my eyebrows. I was wondering, I'm like, you guys, my eyebrows are so sparse. Yet like they're long, but they're not thick. So I'm gonna do a little brow wax. I got, somebody sent me a tester brow pencil gel thingy that I've had for like a month and I keep meaning to try it on here. It looks good if it's the right color because it has the like coloring in it. It's supposed to like fill your brow and set your brow all in the same. It's a popular brand. Of course, I can't think of it off the top of my head. All right. I'm gonna let that dry for a second because my next shade is gonna be that Aries up under the brow, and I don't want to put it on wet. That'll just be a mess. So in the meantime, let me see. How do we do with fallout? Pretty good. Oh, a little bit on this side. Nothing crazy though. All right, here's a little pro tip for you. Sit on your mascara. If you feel like your mascara always like, have you ever been in your car on a hot day and you go to put your mascara on and yes, it's like hot, but it's so much smoother. And in the winter particularly, or when my stuff is close to the air conditioner, I need to sit on my mascara. I've seen girls shove it in between the ladies, but I don't have any ladies to shove it in between. So get it in there, warm it up. All right, what do we need to do? I'm gonna keep it, forget it. We're not even gonna touch up the acne until we see how it looks at the end. Grab your blush and bronzer brush. Get off anything I have on there from yesterday, which I think might be Illuminator. Stay tuned next week. I'm gonna show you all the ways that we can glow. Pretty sure this is oh my gosh, your favorite ever? I stay away from cooler tones, not even intentionally. But I have a couple of friends, and obviously, Britt, you're one of them, that like are totally drawn towards cool. And I'm like, I need to do more of that. That's why I started looking up the different like looks and creating like different graphics where I could see them together. And I was like, yeah, I need to have more inspiration outside of just what I see in my head. So these have been fun. I feel like some of them have gotten me out of my comfort zone. Some of them have paired me with just different colors than I'm used to. So I'm having fun with it. Okay, guys, this is Mango. I have a lot of redness right now. I'm covering this whole area, redness here, with these circular motions. And I know it's gonna look warm. Trust the process. I'm not crazy. And it's meant to look warm. Warm covers purple blue. The orange does. And that's what redness, acne scarring, all that actually is. Dark under eyes particularly are very much blue and purple. So we tend to use a warm color when we're using color science, which is how I color match all of my clients. It's what I think the magic of Seint is that if you have the right colors, you can wear a very thin amount of makeup and still get good coverage that lasts all day. And then you can build it up as you choose if you like medium or full coverage. So now I'm gonna press on. I don't go too close to the eye with this brush. Just put too much product. Too much product in textured areas equals more texture. So I'm grabbing the spot brush because I'm gonna tap on some of this acne here in a second, but you could use the blend brush, the detail brush, the bright brush, the blur brush, any of those would do. You see how I had like a little bit of like a white spot here? You can probably still see it like on this side. And just this little wash of color evened that whole thing out. So right now I'm kind of toning the skin, adding color where it's needed in some cases. So like Britt, this is kind of applicable to you. And then tapping on a little bit more where I have a saturation of color to color correct the depth. And you'll see the nose scar disappear. Does anybody know anything about YouTube? I went live over on YouTube yesterday for the first time, which was slightly terrifying, by the way. It worked out fine. But people say that people are not nearly as nice on YouTube, and I'm like, oh God. I'm easily distracted, like a fly flies around or like a deer walks in my backyard. I'm like, if I had to deal with like really mean people, which only happens occasionally on my lives on Facebook or Instagram. But anyways, the reason I'm asking is when it published afterwards, it was like super grainy. Have you guys ever watched Facebook Lives? Do you feel like they're always more grainy than an Instagram Live is? I do. I feel like every Facebook Live, whether it's mine or somebody else's, just doesn't show as well. Well, this was even worse than that. And I'm like, how is that possible? It uploads in 4K, where Facebook and Instagram do not. So I'm like, wonder if it's a camera setting on my end. But I watched it and I was like, ugh. Okay. I'm gonna look for any more redness. I still feel like I have some redness in here. You guys, I'm just really red right now. Came back from vacation. Sun and hyperpigmentation are not friends. Okay, so less teaching. Go, Sammy, go. Main shade over top. See how that tones that down? This looks more orange. Now we're getting down to the natural color of my skin. It's the combination. Color corrector with your main shade over top. That give you both coverage that lasts all day and match your skin tone. Your color corrector alone, too warm. My main shade, too neutral. Okay? So if I just wore this, I'd have to wear a ton of it to get color or to get coverage on that redness. The red is too red. So, hey, what's up? I just sent you a text message. I don't know if you saw. But I can't see right now. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so you may have already responded. Okay, so redness done. Make sure I've covered up the mango very, 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 very lightly under my eye. A lot of texture, be light-handed. Like so light that, that's a terrible example. You like could barely even see it. Like strictly a wash. And while I'm up here, I'm gonna go ahead and flick up around this eye to lift my eyeshadow. That's how we clean up our eyeshadow edges so that our eye always looks lifted and not droopy. Good. Let's contour, people. All right. I have been using Ash Contour lately, which is a little bit lighter than my normal contour because my normal one desperately needs to be melted down. Did you guys know? We can melt our tins, right? To get Mac's product out. Put them on a little candle warmer. This is Astoria, my normal one. And it's like super hard to get anything even on the brush. So I need to put this on a candle warmer, swirl a toothpick on it, let it dry. And there's easily a month left of product in there. So let's go top of the ear. Stay on the cheekbone, outer corner of the eye. Tap, tap, tap. Now flick. Just diffuse the line out. Don't let contour scare you. It makes a huge difference in the way your makeup looks regarding like your face shape. Have you ever put your makeup on and you're like, oh, I kind of look like a chicken nugget where like everything's one color? This will take care of that. Going around the perimeter of the hairline, push it up into the hairline so we don't have any crazy lines. Hey, girl. And tap, tap, tappy, tap, tap on the edges to make sure that it is feathered out. Little under the chin. Down the neck so that it blends. Underneath that little divot right here, down the neck. I'm going to stand underneath the jawline. Now sculpt the jawline, cheekbones, make the forehead look a little bit smaller. I'm going to avoid the nose contour today. I should clean off this side of the brush. I don't know what's on here. Guys, don't sleep on the Seint brush cleaner. You can clean your brushes and use them pretty much instantly. You want to do that once a week. You don't want nasty brushes because they're going on your face. Okay, ready? Tap, tap, a little bit on the side. Going down the nose, underneath that eye pocket, onto this pad right here. And you kind of pick how low you want to go based on your preference and like what your feeling is about pores. Everyone feels like their pores are the largest. Uh-oh, that was illuminator, that's no good. Their pores are the largest in that area. And light reflects. Remember, like that's why underneath the brow bone, we're gonna put this lighter shade. Light reflects. So we don't want to like pop our pores forward by putting a ton of product there or by going too low. Thanks, fam. And we'll make sure that this is all married together with our perfector. But I do the majority of the product in the inner corner and the outer corner and then use what's left on the brush to marry it all together. Because creams blend and they extend. So like a little bit goes a very long way. It can cover quite a bit of surface area. Inner corner here. Down the nose, on the side. This little fat pad right here. Underneath that eye bag. Bring it all together. When I bring it all together, I do go on to that eye bag, but it's because I have a teeny tiny bit of product left on there. It's Palace, actually. So my normal, like when I was first matched to Seint, before we had Palace, this would have been white peach for me. I have white undertones. I've been using Palace quite often since it came out because it has a pink base. And while I don't have a ton of the amount of redness that I would recommend, like that somebody have to have Palace, the cool thing about a pink base is it is really good for correcting blue. So it adds a touch more. It's at the same like depth as like Candlelit. So it's not going to be as bright. White peach is, where am I switch? White peach is lighter than Palace and it's white based. Palace is a little bit closer. This is at, I'm wearing Sandy right now. But I really like it. For a lot of people, it doesn't emphasize texture as much in my opinion. Well, one, it's not as light as the other one, so it shouldn't, but it has that pink base that I like. All right, so we remove all the excess with our perfector. Make sure nothing's heavy, cakey, tacky, anything like that. And I'm gonna put on a little bit of bronzer. I feel like I need some. Well, I feel like I need some every day. Guys, I'm a big fan of the lip oil. If it comes back, I highly recommend it. I did buy 2 of them, and this is all I got left in my second one. It has this nice little like luminosity to it, very hydrating, works amazing underneath satin lip gloss, lipsticks, lip and cheeks to keep them hydrated. All right, let's do a little bronzer. Brush and bronzer brush. High points of the face. Now we're gonna add warmth. Contour is cool and ashy, it's for shadow. Bronzer is warm. It's to add, see how I look like I have a little more life here? Look a little bit dreary here. That's all bronzer does. Sun-kissed glow that you get with a tan. But you get it in your palette. And now you can put some down the neck if you feel like you wanna add a little bit of color to your neck. And that really just depends on how much or how little you like to match your face. Okay, pink grapefruit. Oh, let's finish the eye. Let's do, what's this brush here? This might be the blur brush. I was just looking for something with a small end. And we're just gonna put our little brightening shade Aries on. That would be this guy. You could also use your illuminator. All right, so let's go tear duct right here. I'm sticking to the tear duct because this area is texture. Remember, light and bright, especially something with a shimmer would increase texture, and that is not my goal. So a little under the brow. This also helps with a hooded eye. It makes the brow look more lifted, so you look like you have more lid space in a subtle way. These are all just little things that you can do that when you do them together, overall will help with deep set eyes, small eyes, or hooded eyes. See, pretty. Just a little pop on the tear duct underneath the brow. We are good to go. And this is pink grapefruit. See, isn't she pretty? Also cool. So we have generally the cool family going here. And then the other color is Angel Illuminator. So this is our combo today, and it's quite lovely. So let's do just a little bit. This is a satin shade, highly pigmented. So start with a little and add on as you go. Your lip and cheek, like by rule of thumb, lip and cheek is always the first thing to go, like in someone's makeup. Like that and a nose contour just seem to disappear the fastest for everybody. So if it's a little bit more intense when you begin, it's okay. It is gonna die down in the first 5 or 10 minutes anyways, but it will also be the first thing. Pretty much, no matter what you do, no matter what brand, like that's just the way that it is. I have no idea why. There's probably some scientific reasoning behind that, but I don't know what it is. Super pretty. I'm really liking it. Okay, for this pink, I'm gonna need some lip liner. So I'm gonna do Suede, and I need the multitasker. You guys doing anything fun this weekend? Are you on the for a birthday party party bus like we are? We go from games to birthday parties all weekend long. All right. I'm just gonna line right underneath my lip line, primarily in the middle. I'm not going all the way to the outer corner. It's gonna drag my lip down. Here I'm overlining a bit on the top, sticking to the middle again. And if you want to, you can pull your lip liner in. Like if you ever feel like if you're using a darker lip liner and all of a sudden it just like feels drastic, well, one, you can tap it out a little bit right here, but you can pull it in too. Actually go up onto your lip, right on the edge. There we go. I used to wear pink grapefruit all the time in the summer. I'm starting light-handed. I think it's a great shade. See how light it can be versus like this? It can be worn very light-handed, and you can change the shade, like tone a little bit with your lip liner. But then also you can wear it more pigmented if you want. And I'm going like over that lip liner. I don't necessarily want them to be too like drastically different shades. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, let's grab our illuminator and pop it here on the high points. We'll blend this. I think this looks really nice with the eye look. I think holds it together really nice. A little bit of illuminator on the Cupid's bow. If you wanted to, a little bit here. Pop out the center of the lip. Give it a little pout. And oh, perfector, where'd you go? I'll just have to use this. I get off my lives and my perfectors have like rolled across the floor. Okay. What do we think? Britt said it's her favorite eye look ever. Oh, hold on, sitting on my mascara. All right, weigh in. You guys, I think it's a winner. I really like it a lot. Thankful to the Pinterest person that originally gave me the idea for like half of the look. I was like, All right, so typically I would curl my lashes first. See how they're getting so long that they're starting to turn downward, and that's not helpful. But for the sake of time, I'll just do this one so you guys can see. So nice, right? Okay, guys, if you ever need help, you know the drill. Just let me know, and I will help you with your colors, your application, eyeshadows, whatever it is. I will post some pictures once I get my mascara on, and yeah, happy Friday.